Welcome to the next exciting edition of 42 Stories Anthology presents. Today I have one of the readers from the book, Michael Peach. Welcome.
Thank you.
Should I say
Great to,
Michael K. Peach?
yes. And
Okay.
I write as M. Kelly Peach.
Okay. So actually, should I call you Kelly? What do you prefer?
Most people call me Mike or Michael.
Okay.
My
Why don't
family
you?
always called me Kelly.
Oh, okay. So family Kelly, and others Michael. Okay, okay. Yeah. It's actually kind of the opposite for me. My family likes to call me Alan, everyone else Bam or Bertram. So the total opposite there. Why don't you tell the viewers a bio about yourself?
Well, I'm retired from the state of Michigan. I worked for Department of Health and Human Services for 19 years. Before that, I was a teacher. I was a case manager for Michigan Works. And then I've had a bunch of other jobs like dishwashing and um, janitor and all kinds of different jobs.
Okay. Well, you've had a lot of literary work that's been published here and there, like fantasy, sci-fi, horror, contemporary fantasy, right?
Right. I'm now up to about 80 pieces
Hmm.
published in various venues. And I just signed a contract with Alien Buddha Press to publish a poetry chapbook called Please Do Not Tap on the Glass.
Hmm. Well, what's an elevator pitch for that one?
Well, it's kind of like more dark and intense poems. There's 18 poems in it. Um, Pretty serious. Lots of different types of poems, traditional, free verse, concrete poems, hybrid, experimental.
Hmm. Sounds great. I love poetry. A few of your books are on Amazon. What are those titles again?
The two books that I have currently on Amazon are The Adventures of Argyle Sock and The Death of Tintagiles Death.
Okay.
And Adventures of Argyle Sock is a fantasy novel. I wrote it for adults, but it's very family friendly. It's a lot of fun. It's humorous, and it explains finally the mystery of what happens to the sock when it disappears in the laundry. And then The Death of Tintagiles Death was published by Translucent Eyes Press. It's a novella, and it's pretty dark and intense. And it talks about a puppeteer named Kyle and his puppet Tintagiles, and what happens with those two.
Okay. That sounds like a lot of fun to read. Tell me about the creature in the death of the Tintangle's death.
Um, so that's Tintagiles, and he
Gyles,
is
thank you. I just can't say this word.
yeah. It's kind of a I like the cover illustration a lot. Cody Sexton, the editor there with Translucent Eyes Press, he developed that cover.
Oh,
And um, yeah, as you read along in the novella, the structure of the book is the construction of this puppet. And as you read along, you have to decide as the reader, is this puppet actually coming to life? Or is Kyle, the main character, is this all what he's dreaming and hallucinating? Because he's a severe alcoholic and he's drunk through much of the story.
Well, I think sometimes we all kind of feel that way, like we're drunk through a story. So it sounds relatable for sure. What inspired it?
I tend to be more of a pantser, except when I'm writing plays, then I'm definitely a plotter.
Hmm,
And that one started off with an image in my mind of what would happen if a marionette um, was, on stage and then all of a sudden just started climbing up its strings and then was attacking the puppeteer.
hmm.
And that's how the whole story started from that.
Okay. I think I know also what inspired that kind of thriller tension, but before I get into that, why don't you read your story from the anthology? That might clue in some viewers at what initially inspired that, at least my thinking.
Well,
Oh, you
let
have the
me.
book, great.
So I just happen to have this massive volume, which I haven't had a chance to read yet, but I will definitely read it.
Okay,
Um, it's a beautiful book.
thanks. I've read it a couple
Uh,
times.
huh?
I've read it a couple times, you can imagine,
I
within the
bet.
year.
I bet. Um, so we've got a very nice table of contents. I'm in the macabre and morbid section.
Right.
So that's page 139. So let's go there.
Yeah, as big as it is, I had to make it organized and easy to find stories. Well, as easy
Yeah,
as possible.
for sure. And I can tell you where that piece came from.
Hmm,
Well, if you go to page 139, you find macabre and morbid, and then the next page is the contents for that section. So it's beautifully organized.
thanks.
And
Actually,
I am on page 30.
yeah. Terry,
Sad Grievous Death of the Edgar Allan Poe.
yeah.
Uh, Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. So
And Terry Groves was the formatting editor of the book. He was great. Unfortunately, he passed away right before the release of the book. It was quite a shock.
what is that? So before I read it, let's see. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So before I read it, a little background on this. One of the full-length dramas I wrote was is called Bipolar, and that's capital B, lowercase I, capital P, capital O, capital E, lowercase LAR. So that's wordplay, and it's based on the life of Edgar Allan Poe. And the premise is that there's so much tragedy in Poe's life. As a dramatist, you don't have to make anything up. You
Yeah.
just have to talk about his life, and you've got more than enough tragedy to work with.
Hmm.
Um, so, the sad, grievous death of Edgar Allan Poe. After consumption of alcohol and laudanum and lungs consumption, low winds of despair ruffle the mind's black feathers like a raven's in a tree on the edge of a stubbled winter cornfield. Drive the raven poet mad, leave him raving nevermore.
Yeah.
So the lines blow winds of despair, ruffle the mind's black feathers. That was something I wanted to use in the play,
Hmm.
but it didn't really fit anywhere. So as a writer, as a good writer, you don't throw anything away, right? You save
Yeah.
everything. And then so when I saw your project posted on Facebook, I was instantly interested in it because it's such a fascinating concept. And it was amazing to me that anyone would undertake such a massive project. Uh,
Thanks.
and it's not surprising that it took several years to put together.
Well,
Um,
to be
but
expected.
I immediately got interested in it, and I thought maybe I can make this work.
Mm,
So that's what I did.
yeah. And well, my point about the creature deal where you say it kind of comes to life, that's sort of also in itself Poesque, because Poe would have a way of making the most normal things into something that's horror or suspenseful, like a raven or a beating
Right.
heart. You know, suddenly a heart beating is now something terrifying. And you
Uh-huh.
do that with this creature in your book, and I could see that reflecting. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely say I've been influenced heavily by Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this to you in emails or not, but I actually have a lot in common with him. Like some eerie things. Have I mentioned it to you before?
No, tell
Well,
me.
for starters, we have the same birthday. That's
Okay.
kind of the one thing. Another one, our middle names are the same. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
another one, for now, I'm mostly just known for my short stories. I don't have any novels out yet, but I'm working on that one. That similarity is gonna change. We have the same
Okay.
eye bags. Like I have these horrible eye bags, and he had that problem too. Um, yeah. What's another one? Oh yeah, my name Bertram. Do you know what that name means?
No.
Raven.
Really?
Yeah. It means
Cool.
glorious raven.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I always found that interesting. We're both writers. I have all these similarities. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a really interesting coincidence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But and I have a lot of drama in my past too. I don't have to get into that, but it would make someone bipolar. But yet I'm not bipolar. At least I don't know. I can't self-diagnose.
Okay.
But you could tell me later if I'm bipolar, right?
My wife's a mental health therapist. She could diagnose you.
All right.
She's an
Well,
MSW.
okay. My fiance is studying to be a nurse. Maybe she'll get into something like that later. She likes uh she
Mhm.
likes the human mind a lot. But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I've always liked Edgar Allan Poe. So when I read your story and it was Poesque, I went, I hope the readers pick it because I really liked I like anything Edgar Allan Poe related because of our
Uh-huh.
similarities. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was quite a treat to get your story into the book. Um, so who else inspires you? How about tell me about a few bands that you might like.
Well, a few of my favorite bands would be the Moody Blues, the Eagles, Pink Floyd, classic rock bands like that, Kansas. I'm just an old rock and roll guy. Uh, Born in Detroit, raised on the West Side. So yeah, I'm all about the rock and roll. But I like rhythm and blues as well, and Motown, things like that.
Okay. Yeah, those are all a bunch of bands that I grew up to, so I can totally relate. How about actors? I wonder who you like. Another icebreaker question.
Um, I really like Denzel Washington.
Hmm.
He's my son's favorite actor as well, and my son is an actor and a filmmaker.
Hmm.
Um, I like Robert Duvall a lot. Um, I like some of the comic actors as well. I'm a big fan of W.C. Fields back in the day. Always liked Laurel and Hardy a lot as well.
Hmm. Okay, great. All right, so how about another icebreaker question? What's your go-to sweet?
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you, Bam. I've been baking for like 45 or 50 years now.
Yeah.
And I love baking. Um, so this is a tough question for me because I have a terrible sweet tooth. I like so many sweets. I just made uh, a couple loaves of cinnamon swirl orange bread,
Hmm.
and that's pretty good. My wife loves it.
Sounds
Uh,
good.
but my favorite, I might have to go with the classic chocolate chip cookies.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool. If you ever come to Japan, that's where I live. I don't know if that was mentioned while recording, but the 7-Elevens here have the best chocolate chip cookies. They taste like fresh from the oven. I don't know how they do it.
Okay.
They made me an addict, and I was warned by my fiance to stop because I'll get diabetes or something. They're wonderful. If you ever make it to Japan, they're worth trying.
Okay.
How about a question kind of about writing? Um,
Mhm.
are you part of any writer circles?
I am. Uh, I'm in the writing group for the Great Lakes Area Horror Writers, or GLAW, as we call ourselves. And we meet once a month and do 2 or 3 stories from our group. We workshop them, provide feedback, both verbal and then written afterwards. We'll send them, each person who participated will send their feedback to the author. And then I'm also the facilitator for a local writing group called Ink Society here in Escanaba. And we have about a half a dozen core members. Um, and we meet in person once a month at the public library. And we talk about writing. We encourage each other to write. We might do a little workshopping, maybe some readings, that sort of thing. I always bring a treat. Uh, let's see, what did I bring the last time? Uh, oh, the last meeting, I baked some um, French toast, cinnamon French toast muffins.
Hmm.
Yes, that's what. What I've discovered over the years is that if you bring fresh baked goods to meetings, it will help attendance.
Hmm. So you bribe them with food.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, we have a lot of fun at that meeting. And in fact, the last meeting we had TV6, the local news came in and did a little like 30-second, 45-second piece on us.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, they had the reporter there and she did some filming and interviewed me, and yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty nice.
Well, from what I could tell on Google about it, it looks like it has some good constructive feedback. That's what people say about it. Networking opportunities, community support. Uh, it's pretty, and there's a lot of people who mention inspiration and learning opportunities. Oh, really? Nice. I guess I could see that learning about writing. Yeah. Access to local events. Cool. Development of critique skills. Yeah, if you're in Michigan, people should check this out. Accountability. So y'all are getting accountability. It's not mentioning the sweets.
We,
Safe space though, and celebration of successes. Oh, so you celebrate with each other.
yep,
Okay,
sure,
that's
sure.
great. There's so many writers who I interview, and they tell me that when they get an acceptance, they just kind of go, "Yay!" and then they move on. I go, "Come on, celebrate that." So,
Yeah,
hmm,
absolutely.
so yeah.
Um, yeah, we try to set goals for each meeting. And, if you make your goals, great. We do celebrate that. If not, that's okay. If you made progress, that's all to the good. We just try to be really encouraging of any type of writing. We've got essayists, we've got philosophers, novelists, short story writers, poets. Um, so, yep, the main thing, the main goal is to just encourage people to create their art.
Okay. How about kind of another question about your writing, but sort of a background. What got you into it?
Um, I started really reading seriously in fifth grade. My fifth grade teacher's name was Marshall Rafferty, and he was a bibliophile and a book collector. And he was a veteran teacher when I had him. He had already been teaching like 20 years or 25 years or something like that. And he would always bring his books into the classroom and share them with the students and allow us to read his books. Um, and so he got me started reading authors like Edgar Rice Burroughs and Jeffrey Farnow and Ryder Haggard and McCutcheon, uh, folks like that. And I got hooked. I got hooked on reading. I enjoyed it before then, but I really got hooked once he introduced me to those types of writers. And once I got hooked on reading, the next step was to start writing. You know, if you like reading that much, chances are you're probably going to like writing. And so I started writing some things um, and found that I really enjoyed that, and that's what got me started.
Right? Could I kind of ask you some questions that maybe we didn't discuss in your blog?
Okay, sure.
I already have a blog and Blogger, and I thought, hey, maybe I'll get some original ones for you.
Okay.
So your work, as I mentioned earlier, it spans from a lot of different genres like poems, essays, and fiction. Which format do you find fulfilling the most, or the
Oh,
most
that's a tough
fulfilling for the order
question.
of yeah, like what's the most fulfilling? Well, what's kind of your go-to that you start doing?
I'm going to say poetry. Um, it's such a good feeling when the lines start to work. And then you pull together the whole poem and it works as a complete entity, you know, in of itself. So, you know, but it's very similar to when you finish a short story though, or an essay.
Hmm.
Hopefully the whole thing works all, you know, once you get it all put together. And then it's such a good feeling um to have completed and accomplished that goal.
Hmm. All right. Well, that said, how do you hope readers can connect with the characters and themes in your books? You have this kind of poetic voice in them, I know. So, what's your hope?
Well, I always hope that the readers can find my characters to be real and breathing and genuine. Um, that's always what you want to try to achieve, and I hope that's what I'm able to do in my stories and novels.
Yeah, I think you did that with the Misplaced Universe in the Adventures of the Argyle Sock. I think you do that pretty well from what I've read about it.
Well, thanks.
Hmm? Yeah.
Thank you.
So you definitely do that for the reader. What publication are you most proud of?
Again, another tough question. Um, I'm gonna say a story that we haven't talked about yet. It's called The Horologist, and it's more of a novelette because it's fairly long, and it was published online at a place called Nightmare Narratives, Darkholm Publishing. And the reason I'm looking off to my right is where we're doing this interview is my office, my and where I write, and also my library.
Hmm,
So I'm surrounded by books here. Um, and to my right is my file cabinet where I keep all my writings. And on my file cabinet, I have my bibliography of all my publications.
great.
And I have enough now that it's 3 pages long.
Hmm,
And the reason I keep that here is because um, I do a lot of submissions.
hmm,
I have 30, 40, 50 submissions out at any given time. And that means I'm getting a lot of rejections.
yeah,
I have well over 1,500 rejections. Um, so it helps to have that bibliography right there to refer to and help um, alleviate some of the pain of the rejections that I so frequently get. And I think all writers get that, right? That's just part of writing.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, the horologist is a strange story, kind of weird, surrealistic, slipstream sort of stuff, a mix of fantasy and science fiction. And I think part of why I'm so proud of it is I did a lot of research for that. I read 12 or 15 books on cosmology um, and um, physics and um, stuff like that. So when I finally got that finished, it was a very good feeling
Hmm,
for sure.
that's great. I'll put that in the description when this video is posted eventually of the title and where people could find it. Uh,
Okay.
but I'd also like to show viewers something else, which you might recognize if my share screen works correctly. I don't know. It's so random. But I tried earlier and it just didn't happen. But yeah, I'm sure you recognize this
Oh,
place.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the readers about this website, your website?
So that's my author's website. And my daughter, Christiana, uh, developed this for me. She's very good with computers. And I would not have been able to do this without her. Just, to do it on my own. I'm fairly decent with computers, but yeah, I could not have done this. Uh, yeah, it's a lot of background information on me as a person, and then also on my writings. And it also has a way to contact me.
Hmm, Twitter here. Oh, it's just posting on Twitter. Okay. But yeah, there's contact.
So those are like pictures of the UP. And then I try to keep it updated for happenings.
Okay. Well, I definitely recommend that viewers check it out. They can find you there. And I think you're also on Instagram, if I recall, right?
Not very much. I do have an Instagram account, um, but I'm not on there very much at
Okay.
all. It's mostly um, my author's website, Facebook, and X or Twitter.
Okay. What's your
So,
Facebook for your page?
pardon me.
What's your Facebook writer page?
It's Michael Peach, I think.
Okay. I could also
Um,
double check.
and then Twitter is at Michael Peach.
Okay. Yeah, so they could find you there. I'll put links in the description, um,
Okay, cool.
whichever way it goes. But I think I had it here. Yeah, I have your X here. It's at Michael Peach for your X.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for allowing me to do this interview. I really appreciate it, Bam.